Coffee time. Man, today is going to be such a good day. I don't see how anything could possibly go wrong. Oh, fuck! Here we are today. You can see we have some issues here, okay? Some issues, yeah. So our wheel has come off. This has happened before. This John Deere 790 is a great tractor. The only issue with them is the front ends are a little underbuilt. Also, the weather right now, these ruts are frozen and it just makes it horrible terrain to drive on. This looks worse than it is. No, I've rebuilt this front end a few times. It's actually not that bad, but here's the thing. I don't know what's under this. So that's what I got to find out first. I got to take it apart, see what is broken, and then we're going to have to go down to John Deere and get the parts we need and get her back together. But first thing I got to do is jack this thing up. We got a bucket on the front end, which sometimes you can lift the front end up by just using the bucket. It's a little soft out here, but I'm going to try it out first. Okay, so we were able to get it loose a little bit, actually. I'm going to end up having to get the jack, but at least we can get the wheel out of here. All right, here we go. Oh, yeah. I believe this is the same issue that happened on the other side last time. This happened last season. That's where it connects to the hub inside, and there's a snap ring that goes around here that holds it on. It looks like it's just popped out of the snap ring. Believe it or not, under this mud is a hub. So we're going to have to clean this frozen mud off. What a mess. Now you can kind of see what's there. Before we do anything else, I'm going to have to get this jacked up because we want to keep mud and grime out of this. That's probably what led to our problem in the first place. This is how they did it in the older days, you see. You'd have to wheel your tools out to fix your tractor. I guess they probably didn't have tractors then, did they? Anyways, okay. Before I jack this up, I'm going to try one more time using the bucket to raise everything up here. If we lift that bucket up, throw the 4x4s underneath, and that sometimes helps you get a good bite on the ground. I think I'm going to put them both down in the ruts. Oh, man. There we go. We're already getting muddy. We haven't even got into it. So if you're going to be trying to use the hydraulics of your bucket to lift your tractor up, what we're going to do is going to go down to the ground and then out. And then down and then out. And then down and then out. And also, we got the e-brake that is locking the back brake, because as we go down and out, it'll want to push the tractor backwards. Put your brake on your back tires. That'll make it so it doesn't roll backwards, it just goes up. Let's see what happens. It might not work, but I just wanted to try it first. Down, out, down, out, down, out, down, out. So now that we've got a pretty good amount of clearance, if we want to get even more, which we do, take a block, put it under here. We're fighting mud here, guys. So we got a block under there. It's just going to be holding the tractor up for a second while we reset everything and just get it even a little higher. All right, so we're going to lift up our bucket. Now the tractor is resting on that block. And it just came off. It's still holding up a little bit though. Hey guys, listen. It can't always be perfect, you know what I mean? Now this is what we want. We got clearance all the way down here, almost this whole cinder block. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this block up under here as a safety, so that these hydraulics, as they slowly give, it'll rest down on this block and we'll have plenty of room to work. We can clean this up and take this thing apart. All right, guys, so before we do much else, the snow is starting to pick up here. So I want to bust out the oilskin tarp and just got my stake bag here with all my cordage and stakes and all that stuff. I'm gonna throw me up a little shelter, just kind of keep all our tools covered. Just throw a clove hitch around here, so make one loop, make another loop behind it, put it over. We'll just throw a half hitch over everything. On this back side, I can stake this down. And so here we go. Now I got a place I can sit under here and work, and my tools will stay out of the snow. I brought this tarp with me. These are great to keep in the trunk because if you ever have to climb under your car and it's wet, maybe you have to put a toe strap on or whatever, who knows. Laying on wet ground will instantly soak you. Also for things like this, throw this tarp down, just give me an area to work. No reason to be too miserable if we don't have to. And the tools needed for this aren't really much, guys. You need a 14 mil wrench or socket, some pliers, a hammer, some donuts, a hammer. Oh, and before that, so you see these horses wandering around out there. I mean, this is just part of working at the farm, guys. So we have our pasture closed right now. You see him pacing it. He's pacing it because he broke in and he can't get out. And now he's freaking out. So we're gonna have to walk all the way down there and let him out. All right, now guys, this is mud, okay? This is that stuff that'll suck your boot off if you're not careful. That's the thing about these muck boots is they do keep your feet dry, but they're so big that typically you wear them over your pants. So it's easy to splash stuff in the top and then you're just done. Luckily we got our darn tough socks on though, so oh man, I love these things. But so yeah, it's pretty mucky out here. They think they're so smart breaking into the pasture, but apparently getting out stumps them every time. Horses do not like to be separated from each other. Get out of here. Out. No. There he goes. Oh man. All right guys, and we're back at the tractor. We're going to open up the hub of this thing. 14 millimeter socket, 1/2 inch drive. Because you want to clean it off as good as you can before you open it up. Otherwise, when you open this thing up, all this mud and dirt is going to go down in it. You can see that mud we were just walking through in there. You know, if you can imagine the tractor driving through that stuff all the time, and you know, unfortunately there's just not much we can do around it. That's just why you learn how to fix things, learn how to do things yourself. So when something like this pops up, it's nothing, it's just a thing, you know. It's just a matter of just some more work, you know. So I'm going to pop this loose. I'm hoping that all that this whole deal is just a matter of putting a snap ring back on. All right, so we got all our bolts out. Put those somewhere safe. Now we'll pop this guy loose. Maybe just take a little hammer. Don't beat on this thing, okay? Just a light little love tap. Oh yeah, so there goes all that. This bearing is shot, which I'll tell you right now, that's probably what happened, is a bunch of crap got in there. Yep, there it is. There's part of our ring that holds it on. So let me show you what this looks like, what this is supposed to look like. So this connects to the spindle in here, like this. All right. And then that guy will come through here, and there's just a ring that goes around it to keep it so it won't pull out. That ring broke and it pulled out. So luckily, all we're gonna need is this bearing. Hopefully they have it in stock at John Deere. And all we'll have to do is clean everything up, put our ring on, and put it back together, and that should be it. So that being said, let's head to John Deere. Got to get some coffee and some gas, guys. I'll be right back. I tried not to get the place too muddy. Well, guys, they had everything in stock there. Got our gasket, little snap ring, bearing. So far, you know, for a tractor being stuck in the mud with a wheel that fell off, things are actually going pretty well. They're almost going too well, though, frankly. You know, sometimes I get a feeling like, okay, something has to go crazy wrong. You know what I mean? Something has to go dramatically wrong. No, so if we get back, we get this all together, and should be in pretty good shape. Let's finish this thing up, hopefully. First thing I got to do is that all the mud that's frozen on this wheel, I'm going to have to get off. Now, in a perfect world, yes, keep the tractor clean, but the world just ain't perfect, is it? Well, we got everything loose enough that we can get a socket on it. But of course, I brought all my sockets down, and I'm missing the one size I need. Okay, we're back. We got what we need. Oh, might have to get a torch. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm just going to heat these up now. Just break the ice loose. There we go. You get more leverage pulling on things, guys. God dang. This is why I like this Bosch Impact, for one. It accepts half-inch drive sockets. So now that I have them loose, just back them out real quick. And it's little things like that that speed up your jobs. And there we go. This goes like this into here. It comes through here. We put our snap ring on. We put it all back together. So let me grab a rag so I can clean this all up. So now we're just going to clean all this stuff out. Clean this all up. This goes through here like this. I'll line these up. Sometimes it takes a little coercion. This is where we put our split ring back on. You got to be careful not to let these things slip off, or I guarantee you will never find it. Open it up and pop it down there. Now we're going to put Humpty Dumpty back together. The only other new part we had to do is our bearing. Sits on right like that. And give it a little bit of love tap. Not much. Okay, don't force anything. We can go ahead and put everything back on here. So this just goes right in here. These gears need to mesh with the gears in there. Well, wait a second, guys. Got to remember our gasket. Right now it's a matter of just putting all these bolts in and tightening them in a star pattern. So from here to here to here to here to here to here. Also, a thing with impact is don't start your bolts with the impact. Start them by hand. Make sure they're not cross-threaded. Then tighten them down. All right. Do one of these where you take it and you put it in the hole and squeeze the trigger. That's the easiest way to cross-thread a bolt. I'll tell you what, guys, if you want a job to go horrible and you want to really hate your life, cross-thread a bolt in one of these hubs. Since I have a chrome socket on here, I'm not torquing these down. I'm just getting them to where I can feel they're tight. I will take the ratchet and I will tighten them down. Okay, so I got enough fluid in there to make me feel comfortable to move this a little bit. So what we're going to do now is just throw our wheel back on. We'll hit it with the breaker bar once we get it on the ground. There we go. Okay, let her down. Here we go. Parking brakes on. Yeehaw! Yeah, buddy. We're rolling. Okay, so here we are back in the hay barn. Now we can just check the level on that hub, make sure we got plenty of fluid in there. We're on a pretty level spot in here and it's dry, so Good place to do that. All right, guys, so we just finished filling everything up there. The job is done, but the work's not done for the day. So let's see if this thing will do a little work. Ah. Okay, we're up to our pile now. I'm gonna throw it in 4-wheel drive, engage that front axle. Tell you what, guys, no matter how much experience you have, there's still that back of the mind feeling like everything's gonna totally fall apart when you put it back together. Here we go. Oh yeah. Look at that, guys. Look at her go. It's a beautiful thing. Oh, well, hey, guys. Finally made it home. Camera died there right at the end of the video, just in the nick of time, though. Oh, man, kick these boots off here. Tell you what, I'm covered in mud, and I'm ready to get some coffee. So, you know, the tractor's running good and everything. It seems to be working fine, holding up fine. All in all, job went pretty smooth. That's about all you can ask for. Hopefully you guys were able to keep warm today. Hopefully you're warm now watching this. You know, hop on over to some other videos if you want to see how to tie some knots like we used on that tarp earlier. You know what I mean? Otherwise, guys, I hope you're doing well and have a great day.